and I'm going to read you guys a story today, and the story that I'm reading you is called The Subway Mouse by Barbara Reed. Nib was a subway mouse. He was born into a large family that lived below the platforms in a busy subway station. The mice called their home Sweetfall. While the trains were thrust overhead, the grown-up mice gathered food. When the trains rested, they came home from their nests. In the quiet, the old mice told stories about Tunnel's End, a dangerous, ruthless world filled with mouse-eating monsters. But Tunnel's End was also beautiful. The air was sweet. A brave mouse could find the tastiest foods and the softest nests. Story time was Nib's favorite time of day. When he grew up big enough to hunt for food, Nib explored the station floor. He found strange, beautiful things and things that reminded him of his favorite stories. He started to bring these things home. "Your garbage is crowding our babies," the mother complained. "Your babies are nibbling my stuff," Nib answered. And then he had an idea. He found an empty corner and built a snug hideout. Nib loved to come home, wash up, and fall asleep surrounded by his colorful treasures. He traveled to Tunnel's End in his dreams. One night, Nib came home to a mess. "Nice place," said his cousin Carmel. "We fixed it up," added Ripper. "Got anything to eat?" asked Pit. They all stayed all night, and Pit snored. The coming rumble of the morning train woke the cousins. They scratched and stretched and scampered off. "See you later, Nib. We'll bring stinky crumbs tonight." Oof. A train pounded the station in a cloud of dust. The brakes screamed, "Another noisy day! Another noisy day! Dirty, dull, gray day!" With a warming hiss of the train tore out of the station. Whoosh! A gust of wind snatched up the pieces of Neb's ruined nest. One tiny feather swirled in the air and flew down on the end of the tunnel and out of sight. Nib had another idea. "Goodbye," he charted his past cousins. "You can have my nest. I'm going to Tunnel's End." "You'll starve." "You'll be gobbled up," said Ripper. Carmel sniffed. "Tunnel's End? Just like an old mouse tail?" The next train drowned out their laughter. Nib counted 5 trains before he looked back. He had never been this far from home. The tunnel stretched on. Nib curled in a crack to sleep. He woke up to stiff and sore. Jogging along, he tried not to think about food. Up ahead, the tunnel brightened. Nib started to run. "Tunnel's End!" Reaching the light, Nib blinked. Was he back home? "Who are you?" Nib jumped. It was a strange mouse. "My name is Nib. I came from Sweetfall." Never heard of it." "I'm Lola. This is Sugar Drop." Nib pointed. I'm going to Tunnel's End." "Pooh, that's just an old mouse tail." "Well, at least you've heard of it." The train came and went. "Maybe I should come with you," Nola said. "Maybe you should," and started back down the track. "Hold it!" Lola caught a wrapper in midair. "No point traveling on an empty stomach." They licked the paper clean, and together they passed out of Sugar Drop into the next tunnel. Many trains later, the mice reached another station. Nib saw a jelly bean pounced. "Drop it!" A big mouse blocked the path. 2 others stepped out from behind him. "Run!" Lola squeaked. Dodging and darting, they ran to the length of the station, and with the gang snapping at their tails, they were far into the next tunnel before the cries of "Stop, thief!" died out. Nib still had the jelly bean, but now there was no turning back. The tunnel went on and on and on. There were many stations. There was not much to eat, and as they plodded along the unending curve, the last train roared past. There was no sign of Lola. There was no sign of a station. Lola stopped along the train track. "I'm worn thin, I'm hungry and thirsty, and I need a rest in a nest. I quit." "There's nothing here. We have to go on." "I won't. Look, I'm making a nest." She plucked a feather from under the rail. Nib knew it all at once. "That's mine!" He grabbed for it. "Finders keepers," said Lola, and she sat on it. A tiny far-off note echoed through the tunnel. Nib's fur stood on end. What was that? Lola's eye grew very, very large. Again, they heard a small, musical chirp. They started toward the sound. As they rounded the corner, a light breeze brushed their whiskers. Sweet. More voices joined the song. The tunnel widened to a soft light. Tunnel's end. Looks quite beautiful. "Come on!" Lola dove into the forest of wet grass. Nib chased after her. The mice raced to the hilltop where they feasted on seeds, drank the dew, and danced in the moonlight. They slept right through the morning trains. Look how beautiful. Tunnel's end was more dangerous than Nib had ever imagined. It was also more beautiful than he had ever dreamed. Lola made herself at home. Later, as she tucked their mouse children into a snug nest, Nib told their stories. It was their favorite time of day. The end. So that was a story about a mouse, and he took his fears and he went and did something that he'd never done before. So I challenge you all to try something today that you've never done before. Don't run away from home, but try to maybe eat something you've never tried before. Eat your broccoli, eat your vegetables, maybe do something that you've never ever done before, and maybe you'll like it, and maybe it'll be the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. Anyways, thank you so much, kindergarten, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.